It's time for Nightfall Unlimited, the podcast, episode 13? Is this big 13?
14.
14. Wow. 14. Yeah, I think you're probably right. As always, this is Todd. Elsewhere on the screen, our buddy Ray. How you doing?
Hey, what's going on, everyone?
Not much. Somewhere else on the screen, our friend Josh. What's up, Josh?
How's it going, guys? You guys doing all right?
Oh, yeah, doing great. Walking around his own house, moving his camera, and being a general unpredictable mess is Brett, and we'll show his little profile picture here for a second. We waited all we could. He'll be with us shortly.
That's not a profile picture. That's a nothing.
Yeah, this is the default little circle thing.
It's a blarp, apparently.
It's a blarp. I saw that, and he's like, "Don't ask." So I don't even know what that.
Yeah, I don't bother asking anymore.
I gave up on asking things.
Yeah.
Oh, look who's here! How you doing, Brett?
I'm great. I have tea. Oh wait, I have tea.
What else do you have?
Mountain
What
Dew.
mixes in the tea? Holy cow!
Man,
What else do you have?
that's like homemade Ritalin.
Without being homemade, yes.
Well,
you
yeah.
Mix the two together. Then it's homemade.
Right.
So.
Don't tempt me.
Okay, so, well, we may as well go ahead and get started. We had a few things going on tonight. Want to talk about the upcoming 18th Annual D.I.C.E Awards, which is going to be neat. Huge game industry award show. Highlights a lot of cool indie games, a lot of cool, also big-budget games that have done well during the previous year. So we'll be talking some 2014 games that made waves, so that's exciting. Wanted to talk a few funny personal stories that we've been meaning to talk to and keep forgetting. So, Ray, you want to?
I think we should start with the personal stories.
Yeah, I agree. I was going to ask to jump right in. Ray recently had an interesting shout out about something he and his wife have been doing for the last, I can't remember how long. So tell us about that, Ray.
Oh, the 99.1 Joy FM sticker.
That's right.
So, I don't know how to not sound mean.
I know this is a horribly awkward story, actually.
Okay, so driving back and forth to St. Louis in 2013, I noticed an abundance of drivers with these stickers, and they usually were pig parkers or awful drivers that would cut me off or whatever. You know, they would do terrible things when they're driving, either not paying attention or just rocking out to some 99.1, whatever it is.
Whatever it is.
So, you know, I'm not the only one. My wife, Elizabeth, also noticed the amount of stickers that we were seeing, and it just seemed like so many. So we decided January 1 of 2014 we would count and see how many total we would have, and then you know, kind of have a friendly competition to see who got the most. And of course it ended. We tallied it up, and I think it came out to 321 overall. She beat me. I know that for sure.
Right.
I don't have it pulled up. Let me pull it up on my files book.
I was actually looking to see if we could pull up the tweet as well that they.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I forgot about that. I'm glad you said that. Yeah. The final tally was Elizabeth had 168 and I had 153. Not all bad incidents. 321 total 99.1 stickers. But the funniest part was I sent out a tweet with the picture of, it's like a collage of the stickers, that because we took pictures kind of to prove that we saw them.
I got it up on my screen right now.
And so I, you know, got into Microsoft Paint and did that, and I tweeted it and tagged 99.1, and you know, they replied and said it was awesome.
So fun. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. And they now they follow me on Twitter. Maybe not anymore, but they follow me. They followed me right after that, and they probably saw the heinous things that I post on Twitter, which really isn't much, but not much heinous stuff.
It may not be. I mean, most of us aren't trying to consciously stay Joy FM appropriate during the day. So.
Well, I never am, and Well, if they're reading my Rage of Razor blog now, they're probably gone by now.
You know what I like to think in my head is that they're reading it and they're completely hooked on your writing.
Oh, they're still following me.
And that like during lunch breaks, then in the break room, they're talking about your latest posts, and we'll actually kind of get into that a little bit later. There's a cool series Ray's been doing, and I'm dying to know more about it. So,
Razor's Romance, yeah, we'll get into that.
yeah, that's awesome. So Brett, I guess you're next.
Yeah.
Brett has had an interesting vocational adventure recently, and I would just love for you to recount that for our friends.
I guess it was a couple weeks ago now, before our last live podcast. And usually at work we get the truck on Tuesdays. A couple weeks ago,
And what do you do for a living there, sir?
I work retail.
Very well.
Part-time, yada, yada, yada. Not important. Well, slightly important. But I get a call the day the truck's supposed to be there, and it's my manager telling me, don't come in, there was a truck fire. So
Sorry.
I don't come in, so I'm prepared to go tomorrow. They tell me, don't come in tomorrow, the truck's not ready yet. Okay.
What does it all mean?
Right. Was the fire in the back? Or I don't know.
Was it still on fire the next day?
I guess.
When
Anyway,
you put that on Facebook, you said truck fire. I'm like, oh my god, what did you do?
Yeah.
I blew things up.
Because you do drive that beat up red truck,
Right.
And yeah.
But so the next Thursdays when I actually got in and had to unload the truck, meaning that both my other days were pushed back, it was a pay week. We get paid on Friday, so our pay week ends on Thursday. I got paid for 1 day, and I get paid bi-weekly.
There you
So
go.
I got 4 days of pay instead of 6 days.
Wow.
That's delicious.
That's not ideal. Yeah.
It's not amused.
And I mean, has anything else randomly caught fire since that time, or?
No. Nothing's caught on fire. Truck driver has...
Except for how
Yes,
good you work, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
A couple days ago, the truck driver tried to run over the wooden fence we have surrounding our dumpsters. That was funny.
The hiring curve for your business or whatever must be so small. Anybody can get a job there.
Yep.
It's like the
2-year-old
McDonald's
children.
model. You just keep them.
2-year-old children would fit in real well with the people I work with.
Oh, terrific.
Although they're probably not allowed to, if I had to guess. So.
No.
Okay.
Ray, did you have a question?
Nope. I'm just hanging.
Just hanging. Yeah. Josh, anything fun for us?
No, not as I have.
Got something funny going on right now.
My cat is trying to knock my. It's crazy. Anyway, so I don't really have any funny stories I can think of. Oh, hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
Josh says hi.
Is she in the background of Brett's screen? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, my mom
Yeah,
is in
she
the
walked
background of my
past.
screen.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, so
Was that our
Okay.
fifth podcast?
I'm in manufacturing. The guy I work across from, or used to work across from, actually has a huge problem with checking out girls as they walk by.
Is it Tate?
No, it's not Tate. So, we always, a girl that works next to us would always kind of look at him and tell him, hey, that's someone's daughter. So, she ended up making everyone these ratings cards that we would hold up. So,
Wow.
Kermit, the guy that worked across from me, and I'd like to say that was a fake name. It's not.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
You almost lost me on this story until you said tournament.
So he got a special category that was, oh, hell yeah. Everything else was just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's about what I got.
Wow.
That's my amusing story.
Can I add something to that story?
Please.
No, probably
We
not.
all, except for Brad, we all know Edgar. This guy, every time he'd see a good-looking girl or, a chesty girl in the mall or somewhere when we were walking, they would walk by us and we'd be passing them, and not 2 steps after they passed us, he'd be like, "Oh my God, did you see that girl?" And they could hear him. Oh yeah. And you know what? He hasn't stopped.
No, I thought you were gonna say like he would always just kind of start walking towards them, because I've had those friends too. Like, hey, dude, where are you going? We gotta go talk to her. Like, what are we gonna talk to her about?
No.
And also, I'm here because I need, whatever.
He could never hit on a girl. Never. No. He would be okay with talking about their breasts, as they walk past, but
Basically,
could
to
never,
them.
talk to them or hit on them.
I guess what's really amusing about mine is that it got to the point where we weren't just ranking girls. They would announce, oh, hey, there was a breakdown somewhere, and that means we had stopped production, so we'd all hold up our number 10 signs, and and we'd rank the managers on their decisions, and we just started ranking everything. It was actually pretty fantastic.
That's a little better. Yeah, that's a little less lawsuity.
Well, that's kind of why we started ranking everything. Maybe we shouldn't just do this.
Guys, legal came by. If anyone asks, you've been rating everything all the time.
Right.
That guy fell. Here's a 10.
So I'm gonna get fired tomorrow.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, probably will now. Wow. Interesting. So, man, do we want to jump into
Todd, no funny stories?
No funny story?
Yeah, what about you?
Yeah, I've been thinking about it.
You got peed on yesterday, but what else?
Yeah,
I saw that.
I guess that was funny. I'm starting to lose track of what's funny to other people and what just keeps constantly happening here. So obviously, I'm back at work now. My wife is still on maternity leave. She's taking care of the kid right now as we speak. But so every day, I come home. I'm excited to see the family. Kiss the wife, grab the kid, hold him, walk around, talk to him, and see how he's doing. Because when they're this little, something new is going on every day. So, so I'm picking up him, hanging out, walking around, talking to mommy about, hey, if you want to go grab a snack, go to the restroom, all that stuff you can't do when the kid is like just right here in your hands. Feel free. So I'm holding him, and he's doing real good about starting to pick his head up and crawling around on me and stuff, and all super adorable. So I'm like, yeah, let's check out your D.I.C.E and we'll get you fed and all this stuff. So I just put him down, and just as soon as I move him, that's always how it works. You start to kind of peel the kid off your chest, and you can just see the giant urine stain all over you. So I've had a few of those. We've had a few where we've picked them up and just seen the poop trail, behind them.
Oh yeah,
that's
and the poop up their back.
Yeah.
Oh.
I've had a couple where that line on the diaper doesn't change colors, but there's just a pee streak up the back.
Oh yeah.
No idea how he did that.
Reynolds was the master at pooping up his back.
Erica said 2 days ago she had slipped the one D.I.C.E out from under him and had the other one in her hand, and as she was moving the hands together, he peed off of the dirty diaper into the new diaper, and so both had to be thrown out.
That's efficient, man.
Got that geometry down.
Skill, I think.
Yeah. So I mean, as a parent, these are the only stories I have right now.
And that's what happens when you have kids. All your stories revolve around your kids for a while. And then some of your friends are like, oh my God, if he tells me one more story about his kid, but I've been there, so I know what it's all about.
Yeah, I have no doubt that a lot of people on Facebook are already like, you better shut up about that stuff. But that's okay. I made a special group for it, so they don't have to be there.
I know, that was actually a really smart idea, I thought.
Yeah, it wasn't the first time I'd seen that. We had some friends do that, and that seems to work pretty well. So.
Yeah, because, everybody loves to post pictures and happenings of their child. Not a problem, We actually, didn't we talk about this in a podcast about
Did
people
we?
posting people posting the videos of the one video of the little girl crying because she didn't want her brother to ever grow up.
Oh, yeah, that was a bit more negative.
Well, yeah.
I did have an issue with those. Like, if your kid's doing something stupid, just don't publicize. Like the kid yelling at his mom about how it's okay for him to have a cupcake. Like, no. Nope. Just hide that kid up.
Duct tape his mouth closed, shove him in the closet. Man,
Yeah.
feel sorry for your kid.
No,
Social services are on their way, Todd.
No, he just needed to be swaddled. I know he was like 5, but needed a good swaddling. So, yeah, that's my big story. That was stupid. I should have come up with something else.
Hey, I'm gonna get fired, so don't feel bad.
Well, how
Yeah,
long has this been going on, Josh?
We don't do that anymore. That lasted all of about a week.
So you're not going to get fired. You'll be fine. Stop whining.
I'm still going to unload a truck Tuesday. Oh, wait, no, I'm not.
No? Did you burn it down
Fish concert.
again?
No, we're going to see Real Big Fish and Less Than Jake.
Oh, that's right. When is that again?
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Man, that's going to be awesome.
Yes, it is.
Love me some Less Than Jake.
They were kind enough to post their set times, which means that we're going to be there until like midnight.
Is that a bad thing?
No. I took the day off work. It's okay. We'll be good.
Where's the show at?
Pageant.
Oh, I like pageant shows. Those are pretty cool.
That's actually
It's a great
my
venue.
favorite place to see a show.
I like either Riverport or the pageant. I don't like the big, the dome shows or anything like that.
I can't think of their name offhand. Never mind. I just lost it. I had it. Well, the lead singer climbed up on the balcony and jumped off. I thought that was really cool. And for some reason, I cannot think of the name of the band. They were with the Deftones and Incubus. They opened for both of them.
I won tickets from a call-in show on The Point many years ago and saw 3 Days Grace, which was cool. Who was with them? There were a couple other good bands, but that was a really great show. Love the pageant, and I've seen. I went to an Adam Carolla show
Oh,
at
really?
the pageant as well. That was pretty good. That was that day I got to meet him. That was awesome.
I didn't know you met him.
Yeah, I did. He did a book signing at the Vintage Final on Delmar, I guess. And yeah, super nice guy. Went and talked to him for a few minutes. I showed him one of his old Loveline books that I had already had Dr. Drew sign earlier, and he's like, "When did Drew sign this?" So we stood there and talked for a little bit. It was pretty neat.
That's really cool.
Yeah, super nice guy. Big fan.
Oh. Yeah, I used to watch them on Loveline back in the day when they're on. Was it MTV?
Yeah, they had an MTV show.
Yeah, I watched that quite a bit because everybody was talking about it in school. And Taproot.
Ooh, Taproot is awesome.
Taproot, that's who it was. Sorry. Just popped in my head.
No problem. Those are
Yeah, but anyway, their shows were always entertaining. I think they had them on the radio in the evening also at one point.
Yeah, Loveline has been a long running radio show, but they just
Yeah.
did that MTV thing for a few seasons. And then Adam went off to do morning shows, and now he does podcasts. So
Who doesn't?
yeah, here I am following in his footsteps.
One day, maybe we'll be as big.
Yeah, maybe.
I doubt it.
Well, we are in our own minds, I guess, right?
I'm way bigger than him in my mind.
Yep.
Well, yeah, because if you see him on like TV, he's like. So. Anyway,
Brushing your head.
yeah.
That was a terrible joke.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna leave off while I'm on bottom. So.
that was a terrible joke.
So let's talk about more interesting stuff. Josh, you want to do the big news story now?
Okay, so Brett actually found this, but I'm going to steal his thunder here.
That's fine. You gave me credit because you said I found it. So
I did, yes. On
got it up on the screen here.
Polygon.com, there was an article about a fourth grader saying he had the One Ring. Okay, yes, the One Ring to rule them all.
Right.
The school suspended him for a terrorist threat.
They sure did. That's
Makes
just
sense. That's
unbelievable.
how it happened.
And did you see that it was the third time he'd been suspended in 6 months?
No, I did not see that.
Yeah,
Wow.
I saw that.
Oh man, yeah, you missed a great part of
He
the
got
story.
suspended for calling a kid black, I believe.
He referred to another student as black. Those are the only details I have about that. And the other one was because he brought get these ads off here. Brought a encyclopedia type book that had a diagram of a pregnant woman.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was like a big book of knowledge or something. So
Yes,
because of
heaven
that
forbid.
educational material.
Let's see
Heaven
here.
forbid they bring in like an encyclopedia or something.
I bet the
Because
teacher just had it out for the kid.
Let's see here.
Didn't
That's
like
what
him.
it sounds like.
A fourth grader in West Texas has been suspended, his father says, because he pretended to have a ring like the One Ring from the Lord of the Rings canon, and said it could make a classmate disappear. Dad, Jason Stewart, said he was told his son's claim amounted to making a terrorist threat.
Which, okay.
Now we all got to understand, if he's told a kid that he could disappear, the kid has to make the conscious decision to take the ring and put it on. Otherwise, he can't disappear, right?
This
And
is
right
silly.
is the threat. It didn't say, "I'm going to kill you with the ring of power."
Right. It's just going to make him disappear. Not, transport or teleport, or it's not going to be like a magic show where you disappear and no one can find you ever again.
It's not
Yeah.
going to make your head explode.
Now, this detail is weird, but I read it somewhere that the kid said to his friend, if I put it on your head, you'll be invisible. Now, that did not seem... I certainly never read that or saw that anywhere, but that was the claim.
Yeah, I certainly don't
Physically
remember...
possible.
That's what he kept saying. I certainly don't remember that part from any of the books. I could be wrong. I haven't read the
Silmarillion.
Yeah, that one. I haven't read that one, so...
Yeah, I would love to hear more about the other suspension stories, calling the kid black. This was a part of Texas. I don't know if they wanted him to say something nicer or worse. I don't know anything.
For the record, the Silmarillion deals with mostly the history of Middle-earth and
Right,
the rings.
exactly.
Let me put that out there.
Man. And of course, as new parents, we're like, what would we do in this situation? I'm like,
Well, you know
I don't
what
know.
came up a lot when my son was born was, I guess, through the St. Louis area, a rash of kids beating each other up on the bus, and they have bus cams. That scared the crap out of me.
You know, my wife, when she was a kid, said like her worst problems with other kids were on the bus.
Yeah. My son does not ride the bus.
I did ride the bus, and it got weird. No, it was strange because we lived pretty close to the school, and my grandparents would sit there and watch me at the bus stop instead of just taking 8 minutes and taking me to school.
Right.
But I think a kid mouthed off to me one time, and I'm just like, whatever. I'm bigger than you. Just shut up. And his older sister threatened me or something. Like, nothing normal ever happens on the bus. It's all very strange.
It was strange for me because I never had an issue. I think for the most part everybody liked me, believe it or not. And there was, I think, when I was in 6th grade, I moved a lot of schools, 10 schools before high school. Anyway, I think it was in 6th grade. There was these brothers. One was in 7th grade and one was in 5th grade. They were the Winkler brothers, and every day on the bus they get into a fist fight with each other. And the worst part is they kind of look like pigs. So it was like little pigs fighting. Anyway,
that was not disappointing. Now, Josh, we went to school together from junior high on. Now, you can back me up.
that's
or
how you guys
correct
know
me.
each other. Oh,
That's where we got our start, anyhow. And my wife knows him from further back than that. But junior high was basically a prison. It was just fenced-in areas
Well, baby.
with riots. Oh yeah, I mean, we were giant wrestling fans, which is why we got along. But just a bunch of fenced-in areas where kids were allowed to do basically nothing but walk around and get into like little riots. And by the time we got into high school, like, I think me and Josh were on pretty equal footing. We were both involved in programs and had friends from those things, and everybody was mostly cool with people. The people getting in fights, like everyone already knew, were just like, that guy's an idiot. Like, don't worry about him.
The only fight I remember happening in high school for just absolutely no reason whatsoever was Jeremy Waring was getting his ass beat by a bunch of people one day. And I remember me and a few of our friends all stepped in and was like, hey, whoa, he may be a nerd and a tool, but he's our tool. So you guys got to back off. We didn't go to a typical high school, though. There was never, at least not that I ever noticed, there was never really a lot of bullying or a lot of people getting picked on.
Yeah, you knew about.
That we knew about.
I know smaller things happen, but I think like you said, a lot of the bullying and weird stuff like that, a lot of us actually stepped in and stopped it.
Right.
And that was kind of cool, I think, actually. So, plus that gave you like a good reason to like, I'm going to see if I can beat that guy up now, because now he's already hurting someone, and here we go. Yeah.
So, see, Collinsville High School wasn't all bad.
No, but they've had a pretty consistent problem with their faculty getting into trouble. That's I'd say the teachers get into more trouble than the students there by a long shot, and they have ever since we were there.
Yeah.
So, and junior high as well. We lost a junior high teacher before I ever got to class. Like the summer before, and they're like, he's giving alcohol to a couple of kids.
Was that
probably not a good idea?
Yeah.
Was that our geography teacher? Did we have geography together in 7th grade?
No, this was a math teacher.
Okay. I remember a geography teacher getting in trouble right before school, our 7th grade year.
So that illustrates my point. We both thought of a different teacher. I don't know how we got on this. Yeah, so we had a lot of those discussions, like if this stuff happened to your kid and it was absolutely insane, and you know your kid's right and the school is insane, what do? Do you become the crazy parent who, I'm going to take on the school board and all that, or I'm going to pull my kid out of school and whatever? Probably. I don't know. I would do one of those things.
That's actually a really good question to think about your stance. I've had some run-ins with my son's teacher, and she's not a pleasant woman. And I have a temper. They don't call it the rage of Razor for nothing. I guess I don't call it that, but anyway.
And it seems like. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I've had some run-ins with her, and I've been able to keep my cool and kind of just nod along and walk away and say, "You bitch."
Right. Yeah.
Sorry for the language, but yeah.
Well, I think after my rant last week, everyone knows not to expect this to be a family-friendly program.
He got us familiar with a few new words on the podcast.
But I think we've actually seen this huge trend in society where, especially in schools, they seem to really be overstepping their bounds.
Oh yeah, I'm with you there.
I mean, it doesn't seem like kids can be kids anymore, and we normally don't get into this kind of stuff on the podcast, but
it's been kind of interesting, and I don't really mind. But now here's a couple of quick things. You mentioned the trend, but we entered school, at least me and Josh. I got into kindergarten like the year they said no more like hitting the kids. In fact, I think they even gave us the permission slip for our parents to say like, yes, you can hit my kid, which was weird. So that was sort of a transitional thing, and also I guess the divorce thing wasn't quite as prominent as it is now. So when my parents split up in 3rd grade, I had a teacher about a year later who said, since his parents have parted ways and this is a broken home now, I don't think my classroom is a suitable environment for this child because he's clearly emotionally disturbed. She might have been right. I don't know. So that's exciting.
So you never got whipped. We have talked about this at some point.
Did you?
I did, yeah.
Wow.
I think I told you guys about it whenever it was for Easter. And I walked in on the Easter Bunny taking his mask off, and this was in North Carolina. I lived in North Carolina at the time, and I got whipped for that. Of course, it didn't help that I also walked in on Santa Claus kissing my teacher.
Yikes!
So there we are, back to. Really, it's the teachers that cause all the problems.
Oh yeah,
I saw a teacher kissing Santa Claus.
I saw the nasty teachers. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Back to Christmas.
Spiraling further and further out of control. No, I kind of do recall you saying that before now.
We did an Origins show that never got aired, right?
Yes.
Right. It only exists in our dreams now.
Well, yeah,
and on my computer.
And yeah,
mine,
I
too,
still
my
have
phone. Yeah.
So
Anyway, maybe
popular among the four of us.
yeah, I don't think that's ever going to get any airtime. But
Certainly
anyway,
not now. No.
what else we got on the agenda?
Well, yeah, we could talk actual like geek culture stuff, I guess.
You mean the podcast isn't all about, how terrible teachers are and their bad influence and overstep their bounds?
Well, not every
reading
teacher.
random things at work.
I mean, it's a nice opener, but so, man, I guess we could jump straight into the Dice Awards stuff. You guys interested in that?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, the intro for those who are unfamiliar, and I talked a little at the top of the show about it. Dice Awards, big game industry award show. They're going to be tomorrow night. You can sign in to Twitch. Actually, you don't have to sign in. You can just pull up Twitch and watch the show like I'm going to do. I think it's going to be cool to watch.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah, I like that they're streaming that and making that available. They're going to talk about a bunch of different categories of awards, and I'm looking at like Game of the Year, Outstanding Achievement in Game Direction, Adventure Game of the Year. What else? Action Game of the Year. So it's cool stuff that we're interested in. Mobile Game of the Year. That's probably newer. They basically just recognize noteworthy accomplishments, skilled teams, and what they're doing. And I think they're giving away some like lifetime achievement awards, honoring some like old school innovators, stuff like that. That should be really cool to watch, I think. So I thought it'd be fun. I've got the all the nominees in all the categories, or at least the major categories. We can go through, talk about what we played, what we like, and make some predictions, perhaps, and see how we do. So,
Okay. Well, Todd, you want to start off, read off a category, nominees, and all that fun jazz?
yes, Josh, I would. Our first category is Game of the Year. Now, when I say Game of the Year, what games come to you guys' mind? Just throw one out.
Should we leave Game of the Year for last?
No, because I already said it.
Okay.
Should we have in the past? Probably.
Games that come to mind: Shadows of Mordor, Dragon Age.
Yep, Dragon Age.
Those are the first two that came to my mind.
You guys have 2 of the 5 already, actually.
I'm going to guess Destiny's probably on there.
Yeah.
3 of the 5. And the other 2 are a little obscure. Far Cry 4, which has not been out long.
I was going to say, I don't think Far Cry's obscure, but then again, I'm a PS4 owner, so...
I mean, it's a major title, and everyone loves it, and I love it. But it hasn't had a whole lot of time to make waves yet, but it certainly has.
It's an off-the-wall pick. It was one of the... it was one of my sleepers for last year, actually. Still haven't gotten to play it, disappointingly.
I loved 3. I still haven't played 4. And the 5th was Hearthstone, believe it or not. So, which, I mean, everybody loves card games, everybody loves Warcraft, and this is kind of the marriage of those 2 properties. So from those, for Game of the Year, what do you guys think? What have you guys played?
I have played Dragon Age and Shadows of Mordor. I've watched some Destiny stuff. I haven't actually played it.
Right.
I would have to say I give it to Dragon Age.
Interesting.
I've gotten to play Dragon Age a little bit more since the end of last year, so my views have changed from Shadows of Mordor a bit.
Josh, what say you?
Shadows of Mordor kind of strikes me as something else that was pretty under the radar. I'm surprised it even got this nomination. I think
it actually led the entire nomination count. I think it had like
The most nominations, yeah. I think you're
twice
right.
yeah.
So just based on that and how fickle the gaming press tends to be, I think it's going to go to either Destiny or Dragon Age. And myself, I throw my hat into the ring for Dragon Age.
Okay, Ray, how about it?
Well, I only played the one game, so that's the one that I would pick. But
Do you find it worthy of that honor?
sure. I mean, Shadow of Mordor for me was, like I said before, the best of many worlds that I enjoy, and the game just could be endless if you don't stick to the story and you know just fart around. It's a great game. I mean, I didn't get to play the other games. I have Dragon Age is one that I'm gonna play, but yeah, until I can't really make an informed decision.
Here's what I think. And Brett has turned off his camera, but not his microphone. So I can't. If you click on his screen, you can see the sound waves coming out of his profile picture. Anyway, whatever.
Sorry.
So anyway,
What is going on with you today?
I had to grab something.
Okay, let's leave
didn't
it
take
there.
his bootleg Ritalin today. As I was saying, Game of the Year. I've played every one of these games except for Far Cry. I played Far Cry 3, and I've watched a bunch of Far Cry 4 videos. I think Far Cry is probably the most stunningly beautiful one of these games. However, I don't think it innovated a lot. I think the gameplay was very similar to the previous titles. I love Dragon Age, but it's more Dragon Age. I really like all of these games. Destiny was somewhat innovative. The gameplay wasn't as fun as I would have liked. The only people I know who are still playing it are people who are really into their character stats and who want to say that they've got prestigious status in the game, which is all fine, but it's not really hooking players, I don't think. Hearthstone's cool, but I don't think the scope is wide enough to really take a title like this. Pound for pound, I think I would go Shadow of Mordor.
Really?
It's done stuff I've never seen in games, like I've said several times.
Yep.
It looks cool. It plays well. It takes a lot of really great elements from other very successful games. I think it's got a running shot. If it didn't take it, I think the actual developers attending the summit get a say in the vote, so I don't think they would hand it to Destiny. I may find out I'm wrong. I actually think Shadow of Mordor, maybe Dragon Age, would be my picks for that. So I guess we'll see.
Well, I picked Shadow of Mordor, so it's gonna win.
He's giving it his blessing.
It's great reasoning.
Yeah, it's the Razor reasoning.
It's the Razor way. So
Oh yeah.
I guess we can move on to outstanding achievement in game direction. That's kind of an interesting category. So actual game direction. The nominees are Lumino City, which on paper is supposed to look like Luminosity, I guess. I have not played that game.
It's amazing.
Have you guys played it?
Yeah.
I have not. I'm joking.
It's actually what it is. It's a bunch of mini games that go through and they track your how well your mind progresses with different tasks. Like one of them will have arrows pointing in one direction and moving in a different direction. So they'll be facing the left and moving up. And if the arrows are green, you're supposed to swipe your phone in the direction that they are facing. If they're yellow, you're supposed to swipe in the direction that they're moving. So it'll track how well you improve in that, and just a bunch of other areas. One of them, it gives you like 4 pets and 4 different colored houses, and you have to take the pet to the house it's supposed to go to in the least amount of moves possible.
Okay, I see. So it's kind of like Brain Age meets like Papers, Please, and The Firm, and all those games that are like,
yes,
think quick and do a thing.
Yes,
Exactly. This is amazing.
Actually,
That's beside the point.
no, you're right, and that was very widely acclaimed. That actually has a big shot, I would think, because developers are going to be very supportive of innovative games like that. So that's going to be one to watch. The other nominees are Shadow of Mordor again, Monument Valley. Have you guys played that?
yes.
I have not. Tell us a bit about that.
Monument Valley. That's the one. Hang on. I'm formulating a thought here. Okay. That one, you have to move your character around the screen by tilting your phone and things like that. It's another mobile game that's actually really good. I didn't play that one a lot. I didn't get far in it, but it was
a strong
fun
presence of mobile games here. That's actually pretty cool. Never Alone. Here's one I've heard a lot about and have not played.
I haven't played Never Alone.
Anybody? Looks like none of us have.
Nope.
And finally, The Vanishing of Ethan Carter.
I hear great things about Vanishing of Ethan Carter. That's one I want to check out.
I couldn't find that one.
Yeah. So, unfortunately,
We're terrible at
I've played one of these games. I mean, we can't keep up with everything. Even between several of us, we're not going to hit them all.
I got way too much going on to keep up with all these games.
I will throw out a pick for this Lumino City. That sounds like it's got a real chance.
Well, that's the only one I've played, so that's what I'm going to go with.
That's a lot. I figure Shadows of Mordor.
I figure Ray's will work.
Nice.
Ray's philosophy works here.
Very well. Now, I think we'll rely on our PlayStation players a little bit more on this next one. We got Adventure Game of the Year. The first one at the top of the list is Infamous Second Son. Have you guys played?
I didn't like the first Infamous.
You both made a face as soon as I said that. You both went like... So...
I didn't play Second Son.
It's not terrible.
I didn't play Second Son, but I didn't play Second Son because I didn't like Infamous.
Okay.
I'm not a huge fan of the series. It's an okay game.
And for a category like Adventure Game of the Year, you need that momentum and that player base, so it sounds like maybe they're in trouble. To me, this is an easy Shadow of Mordor pick, which is number 2 on the list. And below that... Yeah. I mean, I think they're looking for like a real hero story for this whole show, so I think Shadow of Mordor is going to take away a lot of stuff. Valiant Hearts: The Great War from Ubisoft. Anybody on that one?
Haven't even heard of it.
I hadn't heard of that either, actually, so not looking good. And, 2 more. The Vanishing of Ethan Carter again, which, God bless him, I'm sure it's great. And the podcast's favorite, maybe, The Wolf Among Us.
Oh, I take back my vote. That was a great game.
It's a super fun game. Is it a good adventure game?
I don't consider that to be an adventure game.
Because that's pretty standard Telltale gameplay, right?
That's like an interactive story.
Well, it is an interactive story. It's not like it is.
Yeah.
I don't think it's an adventure game at all.
Right.
Okay, so misguided nomination, perhaps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it is. It's a great game, though.
It's fantastic.
So the podcast pick is probably going to be Shadow of Mordor then.
Probably. The way this is going, even if we're right on all of these, we're still going to look bad. So.
Shadow of Mordor to sweep.
Yeah, maybe so. Action Game of the Year is next.
Shadow of Mordor.
Soda, yes.
I've played 4 of these 5. No, 3 of these 5. The first one is Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, which is Call of Spacey, you're right. Next up is Destiny, followed by Far Cry 4, Titanfall, and Wolfenstein, or if you like, Wolfenstein, the New Order.
That game looked really cool.
Yeah, what have you guys played out of this list?
I haven't dove into either of the ones I really played. I played a little bit of Wolfenstein and a little bit of Call of Duty.
I didn't play Call of Duty because of the way they marketed that. I like some of the Call of Duty games, but every trailer I saw was Kevin Spacey's entire body for 4 minutes, and then 3 minutes of rocket packs. That's not selling me on a game. So, and I'm sure there wasn't too much innovation. I hear you can do new stuff, but I hear all of the new features are basically already in Titanfall. Titanfall I really like for this category. Titanfall was super innovative. It was like the perfect mech warrior meets the best Call of Duty. Like I loved what they did. I love the technology behind it, how they have these non-player characters controlled by servers and the internet, like streaming from the cloud, their logic. They do a ton of cool stuff in Titanfall. I really like that for this one, and I still love that game. It's been out for a while now. Didn't play Wolfenstein or Far Cry. Destiny, I hope it doesn't win. It's not right for this category. And Call of Duty, that'll be up to the people who played it. So.
Yeah, I'd probably, just off what I've seen, I'd probably give the edge to Titanfall. Oh.
We will certainly see. And that's one of the best launches I've seen. Like, Titanfall just worked right out of the box. They've had a ton of really flubbed multiplayer launches and things like that. This wasn't one of them. Titanfall was great from day one. Next category is Mobile Game of the Year. So I bet we've had some players on these games. Has anyone played 80 Days?
No.
Heard of it, haven't played it.
Now, I'm not stunned by that because 80 Days on iOS is $5. I don't want to pay $5 for your game. So I'm sure it's awesome. People love it. It's an editor's choice, which is a big deal. But $5, considering some of the games you can play for $1 and/or free, that's a real tough sell. Next is Hearthstone, which have you guys played that?
Nope.
I don't much mobile game or game at all apparently.
No, Ray does keep up with a lot of good stuff. I know he doesn't play on the phone too much. I do. I promise I play most of my games on the phone. I love being able to sit down at the Xbox or the PC, but the phone is where I'm at a lot of the day. So I haven't played 80 Days. I have played Hearthstone. Have you guys heard of the Kingdom Rush series? It's a tower defense game.
Yes, I have.
I don't like tower defense games.
I don't like all of them, but I really like this series. Kingdom Rush, they did something really smart. In the last week, 2 of the titles in this series have been free to download for a day or two, and I think that was probably maybe campaigning for this category. And I would maybe give it to it. It's a really fun game, really polished. The graphics are cool, gameplay is neat, it's paced really well. I've gone much further in this game than other tower defense games, so that's one to watch. Monument Valley, we'll see. And Threes, have you guys played Threes?
Threes, I played a little bit on a friend's phone.
I'll say this, have you played Threes or 2048? Because they're similar.
Yep.
Right.
I love 2048.
Most people have played one of them, and it's an awesome puzzle game. I love it. I started playing 2048 first like a year ago. Hasn't been out that long, and then Threes right after. Love them both. Very fun. I've got friends who are like addicted to this like it's crack. So, and considering
I think I'm looking at this. I think I could get down with 2048.
Yeah, you might like it. Check it out. Check both of them out. Threes actually cost $2 or $3 when I downloaded it, which I didn't care for.
I just looked it up. It's still about $3, yeah.
And it's like $7 on Xbox One. You can download it on the Xbox,
really?
Which I actually did download it because if I'm holding the kid and I want to fiddle around on the Xbox, that's something I can do.
Is this the game?
Your screen is too bright and shiny. Yeah, that's it. No, I saw it. So that's a fun one.
$2 on Google Play.
Right. It's neat because they've put Threes everywhere. You can play it. You can't play it in the browser, but you can play it on like all the phones, Xbox, maybe PlayStation. So it's gone a long way. It's probably made them a killing in terms of revenue. Might see Threes take that one away. So my picks are Threes. I don't think Hearthstone's going to take it. Maybe Kingdom Rush should be kind of a dark horse. Hearthstone or Threes, probably. And I read a little bit about...
Who's got music playing? I hear music. Yeah.
I don't hear that.
I hear no music. I hear a fish tank.
I hear music. Kind of sounds old-timey.
Yeah.
20s? Yeah.
Old-timey music.
Ragtimey.
Like from the 20s or something.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I will say this. At my house, in this office, I've got these really old PC speakers. You can't see them unless I pick one up. Here you go. These are old E-Machines speakers that my friend brought over one day and said I could keep. So I was like, yeah, office place speakers. So anyway, I plug these in, and they're not like shielded properly or whatever the electrical term is, they pick up old jazz music. So.
Oh, maybe that's what it is.
I think you're making that up.
Do you have a specter? A spook?
I bet I can prove you wrong. Let's see. Of course, it's not going to do it.
Ray, you
hear
hear a
something.
piano right now?
Yeah.
I feel like it might be something here because the speakers were off. But if like the microphone picked that up somehow, I can't hear it. But
That's bizarre, man.
Well,
it's
at
probably
least we're not
super-
crazy, right?
it's probably super loud to anyone who's tuned in.
I've heard it for a while, and I'm like, is it? I don't know. Some old lady lived in my house. I thought it was her ghost listening to some music or something.
Yeah,
Well-
and it's like, what do you even do if there's weird interference in your office? Like, do I have like an Indian come in and like
You gotta
Passed
find out
out.
who's playing jazz. And hey, listen, turn this down from 5:30 to 7:30 on Wednesdays.
yeah, it's like I don't even think there are any jazz stations in this area anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like radio from Canada.
All right. How much? What else we got on?
So
Nice.
yeah, short answer is probably me, and I don't know what to do. The next and final category is called the D.I.C.E Sprite Award. Sprites, of course, if you're not familiar with any sort of game design, are basically the graphics you see. They move around and they can be animated. There you have it. I don't know why exactly they picked that. This award goes to games that have made waves for their considering their size and their budget, was the way I understood it. So like small indie devs, things like that, who kind of gave the big boys competition, are all up for this award. The list starts with the Banner Saga, which this was the product of some animators from big studios who left to make their own kind of story. The graphics are stunning for this game, and I've never played it, I hate to say, but it looks really good. Have you guys
What's it
seen
on?
this game?
It looks amazing.
PC game.
Oh wow!
I think you can get it.
I
Hold on,
just
Brett's face. I wish I could have saved that picture forever. Is oh wow!
It's
Anyway.
gameplay is reminiscent of Final Fantasy Tactics. Oh,
So there you go. So to me, that looks like it's got a huge possibility of taking this. The next one is Hohokam. Anybody?
oh Hokum.
Yeah.
Nope.
colorful.
Very colorful. That's about it.
It's a good start. I think games with really great graphics are going to have a huge shot here. Monument Valley is in the list again.
Monument Valley is one of those games that had really great graphics. It's a good puzzle game. So if you're into that sort of thing, I kind of am not, which is why I didn't play very much of it. So
Right. Threes was nominated. As I was saying before, in terms of the numbers, I know they've had downloads, revenue, things like that. I would consider them a contender. And the final nominee was Transistor, and that didn't turn any heads. So
I've never even heard of it.
yeah, I'm not familiar with that one either. And there you have it. The nominees. I guess for that category, I'll pick probably the Banner Saga.
Yeah, that's from googling them. That's what impressed me most.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Monument Valley.
Okay. So there
Contrary.
you have it.
Is the Banner Saga like a fantasy epic?
That's sort of the impression I had. I don't claim to know a whole lot about this game. Just
Because it looks like if I'm looking at the right thing, it looks like an animated film.
Actually.
Am I looking at the right thing?
yeah. I mean, it looks sort of like an animated movie, that kind of thing.
Okay, yeah. It reminds me of Ralph Bakshi's Lord of the Rings movie from the early '80s, which was amazing. So maybe I'll try this.
Switch
Yeah,
me over to Transistor. I just looked that up. It
Yeah,
looks
Transistor looks
really,
cool, too.
really good.
Okay.
Well, the Banner Saga looks like I could really dive into that.
I'm screen peeking on Josh because I can't figure out what he's doing. He doesn't know either.
How do you do that?
Did you find it, Josh?
Did I find what?
whatever it was, the droids you were looking for.
Amy was walking up the stairs, and
Yeah.
her mom called me, so I didn't know exactly what was going on.
Okay.
But then she walked back down the stairs, so okay, whatever.
Makes sense.
Okay. Well, okay. So there you have our nominees for the D.I.C.E Awards.
We promise next time we try to do this, we'll be more prepared.
No, I mean, like, I was fairly prepared. Like, there were a lot of games that cost potentially a bunch of money to download all of them,
Well,
so I
this is
didn't
cool.
really.
Banner Saga is available on my Google Play for $10. I might actually download this one. It looks really cool.
Right, that's what I mean. It's higher price, but I think in cases like that, it'd probably be worth it because they
What's
seem.
$10?
In the grand scheme of things, I spent $10 the other day on Fez, which I'm playing. I was going to bring that up actually. I'll bring that up in a
Edgar's
second.
playing that too.
Oh, and I probably for the same reason. So basically, I will be tuning in to the show tomorrow night. I think it'll be neat to watch, and we'll start off next week with a quick rundown of how we did, if there were any surprises, things like that. Anyway, on the front of on the Fez front, I finally watched Indie Game the movie on Netflix. Have you guys seen that?
No.
I have not.
Okay, and I didn't bring it up, so
You're the big indie game guy, for sure.
right. But I figured in terms of like, hey, video game things, and I got to hold the baby while he sleeps anyway, so I can watch this. So, I mean, it's a really good movie available on Netflix. If you guys have an interest in it, it basically follows 3 game studios. Basically, while they try to get their games either redesigned or launched, and try to make Ray, what's going on?
I'm just messing around.
Okay.
Trying to get some reaction to your story. Sorry, I'm listening.
So the games that this movie followed were Fez, Braid, and Super Meat Boy.
Oh,
I love
Braid,
Braid and Super Meat Boy.
Super Meat Boy is awesome.
Right, and almost everybody has played one or more of these games. So basically, the idea was by the time these games had launched, all of them were basically just huge critical successes. So that was neat to do, to watch and follow those stories. I've also started playing or played all 3 of them. Fez is an awesome game, and in the movie, he was my favorite guy to kind of follow. His story was very interesting to me. So I recommend that. That's available for $10. Super Meat Boy's been in some Humble Bundles.
Yeah.
And Braid has been around for a while now.
Yeah, I've spent a lot of time seeing people on my Xbox 360 friends list playing Braid. Never played it myself, but I've spent a lot of time seeing other people playing it.
Braid's fantastic.
I think there was a month when it was one of the free games. I may be wrong about that,
Well,
but I think
this was about 2010, I think.
I was going to say, I paid for Braid, and do not regret spending a dime on it.
I feel like I bought Braid in a Humble Bundle.
I
But
think
yeah, it's a great game.
I think around Christmas time, Super Meat Boy was like less than $1 on Steam. And I was
Yeah,
like,
and
yep, mine.
they've made an absolute killing on that game. So they've done like all those guys have done very well. But the movie was cool. If you're ever curious about actual indie game life, now some of those guys are a little more stereotypical, like live with mom and dad, don't have much else to do. And now Josh is hurt.
Sorry. Peter, Dr. Stance fell, and I tried to catch him, and he slammed into my finger, and it hurt.
He's dead, guys. Get out
So
the body bag.
Indie game on Netflix. There you go.
Speaking of Humble Bundles, this Humble Bundle that's going on right now is just amazing.
Yeah.
If you're a Star Wars fan,
fantastic.
you have to get this Humble Bundle.
It's
What's in it?
absolutely
I have
fantastic.
no idea what's going on.
Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2. Okay, no matter what you pay, you get Knights of the Old Republic, Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy, and Dark Forces. If you pay more than the average, you get Battlefront 2, Knights of the Old Republic 2, Star Wars Republic Commando, and it says more games coming soon. So there's going to be more games released next Tuesday that you'll get if you pay $12. If you pay more than $11.42.
That one supports UNICEF, which is nice.
And if you pay if you pay over $12, you'll get all of that plus Empire at War, Force Unleashed, and Force Unleashed 2. It's just an amazing humble bundle.
I've played all of these games, believe it or not.
I didn't know several of these were on the PC.
The only one that I haven't played is Dark Forces.
Oh, I've played that. I played every single one of those games.
Was Dark Forces on the PlayStation? I feel like I played that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was cool. It was a pretty
discs.
neat game. And I've got to point out, while I've got the screen here, the book bundle that was just announced is awesome. It's got a bunch of games, basically either for kids or for parents to go through with their kids. Big focus on Legos and big focus on computer programming. So, two things I'm very enthusiastic about and very excited to share with my son. There's a JavaScript for Kids book, which is like, here, son, you can see what Daddy does. It's just really super cool. I've already bought this one. I'm very excited to dig in.
Todd, have you bought any of the book bundles before?
Yes.
So do they actually send you physical books? Are they ebooks?
They do not send you physical books.
That's what I thought.
Give you, a lot of them will give you the choice between EPUB format or PDF, and I enjoy reading PDFs. Not everyone does. I happen to like it.
PDFs are versatile.
Yeah, and it's silly, but I enjoy getting my little hand tool and doing just continuous, and I'll just like to pull it up as I read, and that's very relaxing for me. That's more than you needed to know about my reading habits.
Yes, it is.
Speaking of Legos, Doctor Who Lego set's coming this year.
Yeah, I heard about that.
I'm excited.
Seems
The only
cool.
one they have, the only thing I saw that they had concrete was a Doctor and Companions set. But
So get on that and let us know.
I'm going to keep following that because I love Legos.
I'm a fan too. Have you seen the architecture set?
Yes, I have.
I love that crap. I would love to get.
Yes.
It's pricey, of course, but
Yes,
Right.
it is.
I saw a PDF copy of the book it comes with. I think it's worth the money. That's a really cool book, and it comes with a lot of really cool parts.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And one other thing I wanted to mention, I finally
And
got
another.
around to playing the remake of Resident Evil. Fantastic. It's gorgeous.
Cool.
It's absolutely gorgeous. So, and for $20, it's hard to pass up.
Yeah, I actually haven't brought myself to get that yet. I plan to. Sometime.
So it's looking
But-
good for you.
Not as good as a truck fire.
Nice. Well, to move things along, can we talk to you, Ray, about your writing series you're tackling right now?
Yeah.
Don't feel pressured. You don't have to.
Well, I'm not pressured.
Okay.
I didn't
I
know
was
if we
going to say, we
wanted to
teased it at the beginning
do
of the show. He
anything.
has to.
Yeah, I know, but I didn't know if there was anything else we wanted to talk about beforehand. Like, I don't know. But if
I mean,
you
this
wanna
is
go,
really about it because I know we're going to need to wrap things up, and this seemed like a nice way to send us out.
Okay. Do you have what do you want me to say? You have a question, or you want me to just tell you all about it?
Tell us real quickly what the idea is behind it, what you're doing.
Well, I honestly don't know why I'm doing it, but well, first of all, I had a lot of girlfriends growing up, and I have a really good memory, and I felt like I was wronged and got treated badly. This sounds stupid,
Not
but
at all.
I decided to start writing about my experiences, and I'm using their actual names, but I'm not using last names. So the only people who know could tell who it is about would have to have known the situation. And also, it's coming from my point of view, which the first one that I told was about a girl named Kim that I dated when I was like 14 and 15. And I lost friends over that because they took her side. and really, she was nuts. She claimed to be the spoiler. She claimed to be pregnant when I was 15. I
Oh,
was 15.
nice.
Yeah, she claimed to
Yeah.
be pregnant to keep me because I talked about being a child of divorce, which I am, and I would never leave the girl if I got her pregnant. We had sex kind of once, and I say kind of because it was like
This
barely
may be
happened.
more detail
Yeah.
than we need.
Well, anyway, but then she used that against me to try to keep me, and I found out, and that was over. But she also she was really dramatic. Like I remember one time we had an argument, and this is all in there, and she got into my house somehow, and again, 15 years old, got into my house. There's a rose candles lit on my dresser on top of my CD player, and a note, just sitting there. And when I walked in, I don't know how this happened, but the song "Please Forgive Me" by Bryan Adams was playing, and
Wow.
I was like, oh god. And so I was like, okay, I think I'm gonna go ahead and break up with her. Well, because she was.
That's enough of that.
Yeah, and so I was getting ready to leave, and it was storming. I was like, maybe I shouldn't go. She only lived like a couple blocks away, and so I'm going to go out to break up with her. I open my door, and there she is, soaking wet, and she's like, it's totally dramatic, and she's like, just grabs me and starts kissing me, and I was like, I'm not breaking up with her yet. So, I was 15. Also, I was walking her and my ex-girlfriend Raisha, who I was dating at that time, home, and I walked down the street and got to the corner, and Kim lived like down the street. You had to take a left down the street from my house. Anyway, I got to the corner and I saw my other ex-girlfriend that lived in that same area, Tanya, sitting there with her new boyfriend, who was a thug, and he pulled out a gun, and
What?
I told the girls to run. I turned around and ran, and he shot at me. So
Good
that's
Lord.
in there too. And then so far I've only talked about Kim. I just started one about Julia, who I dated when I was 19 and 20. And she was fun. She was an alcoholic. And then I talked about this girl that I wanted to date named Vivian, who back in high school, hey, Tony, can you go talk to this girl, see what she's interested? So Tony went and asked her, hey, what do you think of Ray? And she said, verbatim, I try not to. So I'm not talking about just crazy girls here. I'm talking about all kinds of different stuff that's happened to me.
So in the grand scheme of things, this is a
To
kind
tell
of
it all.
kind of an eye-opening tell-all of the history of Ray. And I think you described this at one point as a kind of the road to your dear wife Elizabeth.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I think I started the very first article with it's that whole what did he say? Harvey Dent in The Dark Knight. What is it? The night is always darkest before the dawn, or whatever. Or the road to hell. What is it? The paving invention. I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, you go through a lot of crap to get to where you're supposed to be, and who you're supposed to be with. I think, and I went through an enormous amount of crap with crazy girls. And looking back on it, it's a lot of fun thinking about it because some stuff I forgot about until I start getting into the mindset. I really have a really good memory, and I remember almost everything that happened. And sure, they may deny it, but they don't know who. They're not going to read it. So.
And is this weird for your wife at all, or is it she like not care or find it?
She read them. She doesn't care. The only one she's going to care about is. There's a girl I dated who was from Germany. She came over as an au pair. Do you guys know what an au pair is?
I've heard the term.
It's basically like a foreign exchange student type of situation, but they come over and nanny a family while going to college. And what happened was Brett Bowers was dating this girl named Barb who was from Germany, and she left. And then another girl came named Carola from El Salvador. And by the way, all these girls were smoking hot. That was the craziest thing about it. Anyway, so then Carola was getting ready to leave, and then this girl Sandra came, and Sandra introduced us to Ellen, who my friend Tony described to me looking like Rachel Lee Cook, who I had a celebrity crush on. And That's the only one that would bother her because that was probably the most prominent relationship before her.
So this is, you could kind of call this How Ray Met Your Mother.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
And I don't say that in a bad way. It's like a compelling retelling of just, all these different relationships.
Yeah.
To some extent, male and female, because you talk a lot about your friends and how they came and went.
Yeah, I mean, I lost a friend over Kim at one point, and we got back together as friends, and his name was Weaver. And then they ended up getting back together after me and him became friends again, which was bizarre. And then he got married to a girl who I didn't approve of because she didn't trust him at all, constantly thought he was cheating on her. And I didn't go to his wedding. I was supposed to be his best man, so I'm kind of an ass for that, but...
It's an interesting thing being of a younger age and trying to determine what you're going to do with your life and who you're going to spend it with.
Yeah.
And I think probably all of us have left some friends along the way over it. I certainly have. I've got interesting stories along those lines too. And certainly the important part is kind of how we end up afterwards. And I think all of us have done very well. And
Yeah,
all of
I
us
think
have somebody, and Brett has ended up with his burning trucks, and we're all very happy.
burning trucks, and I've ended up with a pretty awesome wife and 2 great kids.
Oh yeah.
Josh married the first girl he ever saw.
Yeah, they're at
How long you been with her now?
Since daycare.
We have been together since 2001.
Oh man.
Man.
I got together with her before I started working at Toys R Us.
Yeah, I figured that. I remember the first time I met her.
You guys may have been together longer than my parents were. I'm gonna have to
You know what's amazing? My mom was married.
It's actually,
3
we've
times.
been together 14 years.
Is it 14?
That is really
14
impressive.
years.
That's right.
That's awesome.
14 years, and we'll be married 9 in
What year did you get married?
March.
06?
06.
What month? March?
March 31st.
Mine's in September 06. Todd, you were there.
I was indeed. That was a beautiful ceremony. That was really nice. It's
I
at a
put that
park
all
overlooking a pond. It was delightful.
I had to put that together because I'm a wedding planner. That's my next project is being a wedding planner.
Ray Merrick, wedding planner.
Yeah, I plan weddings. I write. I do podcasts. I do it all, guys.
I think I sort of ended up being like a... Was that the one where I ended up being like kind of an unofficial usher because I was kind of dressed kind of nice? And
Yes.
I think I recall that. It was a while ago now. But
Wasn't it?
Me and
I was going to
Craig.
have. I think. Well, yeah. I think I was going to have Sean. Do you guys remember Sean from Toys R Us?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think he was supposed to be an usher and he didn't show, which unfortunately he does that a lot. And Todd, I came through in a pinch, which was really cool.
I
The
wouldn't have
wedding
missed
was pretty cool. I mean, I couldn't believe I put it together as fast as I did. I had to do it in a week.
I mean, you never would have known. It was like it had been set up all along.
Elizabeth came home. She was in the State Police Academy at the time, and she came home one day and just told me she wanted to marry me. And we tried to go to the courthouse, but of course she's only home on the weekends. Courthouse is closed on Saturday, so I said, okay, well, let me see what I can do in a week. And we found a lady to marry us, and I got some shares.
Happily ever after.
hmm The funny part, our firstborn's name is Reynolds, and the street the park is on is Reynolds Street. That's
Oh, nice. I didn't realize.
we didn't name him Reynolds because of that. That's just happened.
Random happenstance.
Random.
Yeah, that's definitely an awesome story. So you can follow Ray's series on his WordPress blog. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's rageofrazor.wordpress.com. I eventually will just buy it and be rageofrazor.com. Or you can just follow me on the Twitter at razor_33, where it automatically, every time one publishes, which I've got like 6 sitting in the queue. I'm telling you, there's the Julia epic is 5 parts long. But I have a lot planned, and part of the reason was because I had no idea what to do with my personal blog. It was just sitting there. So I'm hoping somebody's going to pick it up and make a movie of my memoirs.
What was that show Mike Myers had on SNL about his girlfriend who he broke up with, like the Dana Show or something? What was that?
Was that the one where he, like, they had a poem?
And was it Mike Myers? Now I don't know if I'm saying it right. Basically, the guy would just, like, oh, was it Adam Sandler? Man, I got to look this up. Basically, the guy broke up with his girlfriend, and he, like, at the public access show, and he would call the girl on the phone on the air and stuff, ask why they were broken up and all this. Anyway, I'll know what it is later. And Ray dropped out. He may have to go. So you can you can follow Ray's series on WordPress. Check him out on Twitter. You can follow the rest of what we're doing on nightfallunlimited.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Interact with us, and we'll be doing more of these Google Hangouts and such, and we'll certainly post about all those in advance. And we will release this show in video and audio format later in the week. And if nothing else pressing is going on, we'll let you go. Thanks for tuning in. And for Ray, what's up, Ray?
Sorry, I had to step away
Welcome
for a
back,
second.
Ray.
Yeah, my wife's putting my daughter to bed. I just
All right.
didn't want you guys to see that.
Well, tell everyone night-night then.
Night, night.
So for Ray, Josh, and Brett, this is Todd, and we're done here.